Alrighty, hello, welcome. This has been the first video for a video in a long time on my channel. It's been like a month or so. If not a month, definitely close to like 3 weeks, but I am back and so much has happened. It's actually kind of crazy. But for starters, I think I just want to start off by showing you guys my nails. The last time I was on here, we did a vlog and I got my nails done. But now these are the Valentine's Day nails, and look how cute. They're like lacy themed. I just wanted them to give like girly ballerina, maybe like tights. Yeah, this is definitely like a ballerina tights set. Like we got the polka dots, the lace on there, and then we got our laced up shoe kind of vibe going on. But these are the new nails, and I'm very happy about them. They came out so cute. I didn't really want to go too traditional for like Valentine's Day nails because usually they're kind of, I don't want to say gimmicky, but I think that's the perfect word actually. It's like a bunch of hearts and stuff, which is pretty, but I just don't think that would fit my style. So that is what I chose. But how are you guys doing? It's been a while. Um, I'm back in college. I'm not at my house anymore. Back in college, back at the dorms, and it's kind of been nice. I kind of like it for the most part. One thing I don't like about being at the dorms is I don't get to cook and I have to eat the food that they serve here. And that kind of hurts my soul because you just never know what they're gonna cook. You never know if it's gonna be good or if it's gonna be mid or just like straight up, nah, I'm not eating tonight. You know what I mean? And it's like I could cook, but it's just too much work for me. I don't know. I'm too lazy to take all of my pots and pans to the kitchen and start cooking. So we will just have to deal with that. But we're 3 weeks into the spring semester and I'm already ready to be done, honestly. Like, I'm ready to be done. I have 6 classes this semester, 18 credits, and I am a busy girl. Like, I am in school. I'm gonna just tell you guys my schedule. My schedule is Mondays and Wednesdays, I have my figure drawing class. And then on Monday, after the figure drawing class, I have my eh, professional presentations class. So that's what the Monday/Wednesday schedule looks like. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's where it gets crazy. I have 3 classes that day, y'all. I have, starting in the morning, I have textiles. And then after textiles, I have pattern making, which is been it's that's been an experience. Pattern making is interesting because on one hand, I'm super excited to learn about pattern making because I want to make my own clothes and I want to be able to alter patterns and make the creative things that I want to. So I do love it, but as a beginner, pattern making, the measuring, the calculations, we got a long way to go. But hey, it's a part of my dream, so I'm gonna stick through it. But after pattern making, that's a 3 hour class, by the way, I have another, it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes. I have a color theory and 2D drawing class. So I have a lot of artistic classes this semester, which I am happy about because in theory, that's like less work when it comes to writing and just reading stuff and just feeling like you're taking a actual heavier class, like as if it would be like biology or uh English, something like that. It's a lot more lighthearted, I would say. But I don't like being in art classes, not gonna lie. Like, I like making art and I like drawing, but once it gets attached to school, you realize there's really levels to this. Like, you're actually practicing repetition more than anything else, and the details, it just gets more into the details, and you're graded more strictly on what you produce. So I'm kind of getting used to it. pretty much. And I think I'm gonna get shorter nails next time because the way you hold the charcoal in my figure drawing class, it's the three hand um grip method or whatever, and I can't even grip the pencil or the charcoal correctly. So I think that might be affecting how well I can shade and use the methods we're learning. So I'm gonna definitely go down more for the next set. We'll see. But that is currently my weekly schedule for college. And Fridays I'm completely off, but I do work Fridays and I work Sundays. So the only day of my week that I'm completely free is Saturdays. So that is what my schedule is looking like right now. I am trying to find better ways to manage time and make more YouTube videos. And what I've been learning and realizing is that you don't really have to heavily edit YouTube videos. They don't have to be the super cinematic stuff unless you are really interested in that and you want to specialize in that. But for me, YouTube is really like a digital diary. So I'm definitely gonna not be editing super hard and stressfully. I'm gonna be pretty authentic with what I post and how heavily I edit and cut clips and things like that. If it's like a vlog, obviously I might have to put more effort into that because it'll be like days or separate scenes put together. So that's definitely something that I'll consider. But I really like the view of this video. I'm currently in this corner of my room right in front of the window, and you guys are sitting on my heater, so that is interesting. Hopefully this phone doesn't blow up or something, because I accidentally touched the heater and it started burning my hand, like I put my hand on a stove. So but you guys are in a tripod, so you're good. But my phone is good. But like, let me just touch it again, make sure that it's not crazy. But yes, I love the view of this video. It's like this looking down from heaven kind of view, which I like. It's supposed to capture the beanbag I'm sitting on and my rug, just like giving like cozy vibes. And I actually have a incense burner, so I wonder if I should like burn an incense right now. I think I will. 1 second. I'm gonna go with the amber incense because these burn in like, I want to say like at least 12 minutes. These take so long to burn out, and I really love that because you get to, the smell is stronger and you just get to enjoy the burn more instead of it burning out so fast. I forgot the brand that these come in, but I'll include a picture if I remember to. But I got them from Whole Foods. But yes, it's amber scented, and I'm just gonna put it in my little incense holder. Very cool. I'm gonna show you guys. It's like this little leaf. Very cool. These are the other incense that I have, but these are the ones that they burn really quick, like very, very fast. Maybe they burn in 10 minutes and those burn in 20 minutes. That makes more sense. But yes, so we got our incense lit for some aesthetic and some sense. But I just want to talk about other things that I've been going through as I've been starting the new semester. Other than like heavy work and fully packed schedules, I've also been, I guess, like learning more about myself. Yes, your girl is changing for the better. Um, I just think I'm outgrowing the place I currently am at, and I just want to move and do better. I think I'm really tired of living where I live right now. So I definitely gonna move. I always tell people when they're asking me about college or anything or my future plans, I always tell them like I'm moving. Like next, like I'm not going good to be in this college next year. I'm gonna be moving colleges. I be telling people this all the time, and it's like I don't even care if I don't get the application or it doesn't look like I'm going there exactly right now, I just have that super strong confidence of I am not staying here and you will not see me here next year. I will be in New York. Like I keep telling people that because I truly believe that and I'm gonna speak and act like it already happened because I know that's my future. So I have been preparing myself for moving spiritually and now I am applying to scholarships. So I already finished and submitted my application to FIT. And now that that is in, I am focusing on scholarships these entire months up until I get that acceptance letter because I need to see how much money they'll give me and all the information for that. So I am going to be applying to scholarships and just really focusing on that. And yeah, the biggest thing I have for scholarships is to not be too discouraged and to always put your my bad. I think I accidentally muted the mic for a second, but we're back. But like biggest tip for scholarships is to always put your best foot forward no matter what. So like don't get burnout and get lazy when you're answering questions or you're writing an essay. Just write one good essay. Write thorough answers and put that all in an archive so that when you apply to other schools or you can use it for anything, school applications, whatever, or scholarships. But when you're applying to different things, you can just reuse and tweak and alter that one amazing essay. And then you won't have to worry about being so stressed about writing really well scholarship answers and you'll just get it out the way the first three times because sometimes these scholarships they get in creative, they asking us different questions. Now I'm noticing they're trying to get unique, but once you basically build a strong enough archive where it can be applicable to different things, you're all good. So don't be stressing out about thinking that you'll be stressed writing too many scholarships and that you're going to get burnt out. Don't think about that. Just focus on writing one good essay and you're good. Literally, that's it. So that is my goals for I'm going to say the time frame from February to the end of March, beginning April, that kind of thing. I will get my acceptance letter by then and I'm so excited. I think I know I already got in. So that's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is this the scholarship money because I need to pay. Because it's like sometimes it don't matter if you get in, you gotta pay for that. Like I got into SCAD last year, but where I messed up, where I messed up in that area was not putting my best work out there when I submitted my portfolio. Last year, my portfolio for fashion school was super rushed. Like it was crazy rushed because I didn't do my research. I was so confused about what is a portfolio and how am I going to show them that I can make clothes when I've never made clothes before. You know, that was my biggest worry. And I didn't do any research. So I was just kind of winging it. And I submitted it very late. And I didn't apply to FIT last year. Um, I didn't apply because reading the requirements as a beginner, somebody who had never even thought about applying to a fashion school before, the requirements just looked very intimidating. It looked so intimidating for some reason. For senior Khaleesi's mind, she just thought that was so super hard. But applying now as a freshman in college after I have gained experience through not only submitting my first portfolio, making my first couple of garments, and learning about putting collections together. Now that I know more about that, I realized that FIT's requirements were actually so much easier than some of the other schools I applied for. Like I applied to Parsons, the new school of design in New York last year, and their requirements they were kind of like they were pretty simple too, I would say, because I applied, so that means it had to have been easier. But as far as like FIT, they're at least they're more specific on what they want to see from the designers when they submit a portfolio. They're not completely just relying on us to um, be too creative, I guess, even though creativity is a good thing. But when you're applying somewhere, you kind of want to know what they have in mind so that you can cater to them and have a better shot at getting in. So that's what FIT did. And now that I applied and submitted my portfolio, I feel like this was so easy compared to the portfolios I was trying to put together last year. That was crazy. And I think I kind of want to make a video after I make it in. I want to say comparing my old portfolio to the portfolio I have now, and just kind of doing a comparison and talking to you guys about it and what I learned, and um how I prepared for it. I guess that'll be some good talking points that I'll do in the next video, cuz that was crazy. Like my last portfolio, I want to say compared to this one, it was, I don't even want to say it's necessarily bad. It was just really rushed. Like you could just look at the portfolio and be like, okay, like, yeah, they're a beginner. Like, they've never done this before, which is fine. But my portfolio now, as far as drawing and sketching designs goes, it's okay. I'm still not the best at drawing. And I honestly think that when um, advisors look at, or I don't know what it's called, but whoever the admissions people are, when they look at your portfolio, and they're looking at your drawings and your sketches, I think if you're an artist, they'll be like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. But also, I don't think that's exactly what they're judging you on, like how well this person can draw a sketch. Because some of us did not sign up to sign up or pursue fashion design because we wanted to draw. We probably did it because we wanted to learn more about constructing garments, and that's where we excel at. So it's more so just about being comfortable in what you can do and not being so worried about what you can't do. So that is what has helped me, especially when it comes to drawing sketches, because sometimes I'll be looking at this sketch and I'll be like, this is not exactly what I'm envisioning, but because I have to put this on 2D, put this on a flat sheet of paper, this is like ruining my whole aesthetic and my whole view of stuff. And that's perfectly fine because that's not the only thing they're looking at. They're also going to be looking at your thought process, um, and how you can translate your ideas into a garment. And that comes into play when you show them your sewing projects. And I'm so proud of my sewing projects this year. Last year, as a beginner, like somebody who had never made anything before, guess what I tried to make? I tried to make jeans, guys. And that was like so overly ambitious. Like I remember stressing so much trying to make a pair of jeans, and I'll have to put a picture, like I'll definitely have to make a video about my first portfolio versus the one I did this year, because the jeans were jeaning. Like I made jeans, but I just can't believe that I went through all that stress and all that trouble trying to sew them, and I could have sewed something else. Like I was trying to, I don't know what I was trying to do. I was just trying to like show them I could make hard things as a beginner, and that just ended up stressing me out so much more. And the craziest part is I feel like if I would have submitted that portfolio to FIT and followed their requirements, I feel like I could have got in, but I just decided to avoid FIT like as a whole last year for whatever reason. I thought the requirements were so much harder as someone who didn't know. But I feel like if I would have submitted those jeans that I made, I could have got in, because I was still in high school when I made that, and I had no prior sewing experience, and I made a pair of jeans. Like not many people could say they did that. And then on top of that, I drafted a pattern for the jeans. I'll have to put the guy's YouTube that I got it from on the screen, but I literally drafted the pattern with his help, following his tutorial as a beginner on this like this sheets of paper that I found off Amazon that's for patterns. But I literally did that all by myself, and I knew nothing, not a lot about fashion design. And then on top of that, I did this all in the span of 2 weeks, because I was applying to the schools I was writing my essays. That's what I was mainly focusing on my senior year. But then I realized like last minute that like, oh shoot, I gotta submit a portfolio because in my mind I was thinking if I've never taken a sewing class, like why would they expect me to make a portfolio? Because I've never done that before. Like why would they expect that? And then I do my research and that's exactly what they expected. So I was I was panicking to put it mildly. I was panicking so much and I had so much anxiety and I was just like, how am I gonna do this? But I ended up making it into two out of the three schools I had applied to for out of state, and I even though I made it, I just didn't because I didn't prepare well enough and go as creative as I could have for my sewing pieces. I didn't receive enough money to go, like as a scholarship. Like they were still trying to have me pay 10,000 per semester, and that's just not gonna happen. Like, nah. At least lower it down to like 5,000. And even then, like, who really wants to pay for college? We all want to go to college for free, so I'm gonna just wait until I earn the scholarships to go to my dream colleges because um I'm not going into debt. I'm not taking out student loans. I'm not doing none of that. Definitely not. So I ended up staying in Wisconsin and pursuing my fashion career here. But next year, or I should say this year, fall, when school starts back up again, I will not be doing that here. I will not. I'm telling people, I'm telling everybody, I'm not staying here. I am moving to New York and I am going to FIT next year because that's just what's gonna happen. And like some people like they kind of give me that look of like, well, what if that doesn't work out? But it's like, I don't know. I don't know because I don't think about that. I just have I just am very confident that I'm going. And even my own self thoughts, I haven't even been negatively thinking about that aspect of it. Like, what if I don't make it in? Or what if I have to stay here? I just think deep down that I just know I'm going. And any negative thoughts that I don't have any negative thoughts, I guess is my what I'm trying to say. Like I don't have any negative thoughts when it comes to thinking about my future. I just know that I'm going up and up and up and up and up from here, and that's just what it is. So I can't wait to show you guys my acceptance letter, and I can't wait to show you guys last year's portfolio versus this one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's just that on that on that. But I'm trying to think of what else. Like, this is supposed to be a catch up thing. What else has been happening? Ooh, Valentine's Day is coming up, hence why I have my Valentine's Day nails. But I am going to visit some friends for Valentine's Day, and I kind of want to vlog. I think I will. That'll be fun if I vlog and show you guys the event that I'm going to. But then again, it's like a social event, so I don't know if I will because I'm supposed to be socializing, not vlogging. You know what I mean? But maybe I'll do like a get ready with me style video, something like that, and just show you guys how I'm styling myself for that day and that weekend. I think that'll be really fun. I definitely need to focus more on fashion for this channel. I want to just show you guys who I am and not just do things that I think are popular, like vlogging and stuff. Because vlogging is fun and all that, but I need to focus on what I want to specialize in. And right now, that is definitely fashion. So I'm gonna be doing more fashion posts, more sit down and talking posts. Um, I want to share some of my writing. I might share my writing through sit down videos, so I think that'll be a good thing. But speaking of writing, last week, Friday, my school hosted a workshop where attendees get or receive $200 for writing their stories about overcoming college. And I think I might make a video on that as well. I'm just coming up with all these good videos. So I'm going to definitely do a video about that as well. I feel like that might be the next video. So that's a good one. What I remember focusing on in my essay was just not letting anxiety rule your life, essentially. Like, if you really get down to the core of what it's about, that's the biggest main thing it's about. And it's about following your dreams and not feeling stuck. Don't let your environment control you. And that sounds so hard because your environment does shape you. Um it shapes you a lot. Like, this is backed up by psychology, anthropology, sociology, all of the ologies because that's just our environment is what makes us who we are. But when you're doing something new, like going to college for the first time, joining new clubs, maybe joining or starting a major that you thought you would enjoy, but you want to switch majors. When it comes to filling out things for the first time, do not let the bad and negative things in your environment control where you go from there. Like, just because you don't like where you are doesn't mean that you have to spend time being so anxiety driven to changing your environment. What you need to do is you need to sit in that discomfort and just write it out and to just relax as best as you can, because when we try to work from stress and anxiety and just like, oh, I hate where I am, I just want to get out of here, like, I hate it, I want to leave now, and that's all you're thinking about as you're working progressively to get out, you're not even working with yourself, you're working against yourself. Because when you're so stressed and all you can think about is, I hate it here and I got to do everything I can to get out of here, in this negative anxietyful, that's not even a word, but in a full anxiety way, that's not good. You can't even think clearly, you can't even make good decisions, because all you can think about is stress and power doesn't necessarily mean good outcomes. Like, just because you put a lot of pressure on something doesn't make it the best outcome. Like I just said, I just repeated the same thing twice. But what I'm trying to say is, like, pressure makes diamonds, but it's not that kind of pressure. Like, that type of anxiety pressure is not the pressure they were talking about when they said pressure makes diamonds. If anything, think more of consistency and creating from a clear mind, so you can actually fall in love with what you're making, fall in love with the process, and not be so stressed about what you're making to the point where you feel like what you're making is not maybe good enough to get you where you want to go, or just having these negative repeating thoughts of, I'm never going to get out of here, and just being super negative and just ruminating on things that don't need to be thought about over and over again. You know, when you find yourself in those stressful places, just relax. I would say actually stop working on your goals for that couple 10 minutes. Just take a 10-minute break. I don't mean stop working on your goals in totality, but just take a break, because at that point you're not even creating, you're not even writing, you're not even doing your work, you're reading the discussion posts. You just writing nonsense under the discussion post that your teacher posted for y'all to complete, because you're so stressed that you're misinterpreting the questions, you're not understanding the essay topics your teacher is giving you, you're just messing up all of your all of the tools and things you need to receive good grades to maybe apply to a different college to get out of the situation that you want to get out of. You're ruining that because you're not even completing your work correctly. Like, yeah, you may be turning it in on time, but the pressure you're putting on that schoolwork is not the right pressure that you need. You just turning in nonsense. Your teacher is confused on your answers. She's like, "Girl, what were you thinking about when you turned this in?" And you, all you can tell her is, "Oh, I wasn't thinking. I was just so stressed. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing." And she's like, "Yeah, I can tell. So don't do that again." Ignore that. But yeah, hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, just don't stress when you work, because you won't be able to work clearly. Your work will be disheveled like your mind is. So don't do that. And then, yeah, that was pretty much essentially what I was talking about in the essay. Don't overstress, don't put too much stress on yourself and all these expectations on yourself when you are still filling out life, especially when you're starting college for the first time. You don't have somebody telling you what classes, well, you do, you have your advisor, but what I mean is like you just came from high school. For the most part, they make you take the classes that you need to. They're kind of guiding you in this way because you have to take math, you got to take science, you got to take gym. They're giving you the outline. For college, you may have an outline for the major you want, but you got to do more work in finding what works for you. There's going to be a lot of people when you start college, they start in a major and they switch in the major. That's perfectly fine. We got people switching majors 3 times, 4 times. We got people who maybe stop going to college and then they go to college 5 years later because it's just like you just got to fill it out. And if you overthink too much to the point where you are just you start losing yourself completely and like your mental health gets bad and you start getting too stagnant, then that's going to mess you up. So just fill out your surroundings and relax and do not put too much pressure on thinking all the time. Like what I want to tell people also is to not stay in your room. Like even if you're lonely, like I'm a loner myself. Like I would consider myself a loner. Like most of my hobbies include maybe being by myself. Like I crochet a lot. I like to read books. Those aren't very social activities, but if you feel lonely, because being a loner and feeling lonely and hopeless are very different. But if you feel lonely and like hopeless, I would say never stay in your room for periods of time. Like, I want you to be out the house all the time. I want you to be going for walks or something, or like, I would say, oh man, you might not. Oh, I was gonna say you might not have money, so you probably can't go to a cafe. Get a job. You should go get a job and put yourself out there where you have to talk to people more and interact with people more. Like, try to get a hostess job or a server or like a barista or something. I'm a barista right now. I really like it. But do something like that because the more you're in your room, and I've been through this myself, like when I was I would say from 8th grade to like junior year, like being in your room for too long and not really talking to people and just like doing this isolating thing because you're trying to figure yourself out through isolation, that's not going to help you. You're going to actually lose yourself. And that's when what I was talking about a couple minutes earlier when I was mentioning like being stagnant in a bad way where you're just isolating yourself and you keep ruminating on your past, on negative things and negative thoughts. And now you are stuck and you're losing yourself and you might not even remember your life. Like time will fly by and you'll be like, what happened to me? What's going on? Like I don't even remember half of my life because I spent so much time isolating myself and being in this state of depression and anxiety that I feel like I don't know where to pick up the pieces and you just feel like stuck. And I just want to say that don't do that. Get out of the house. My first ever, my first ever, what am I talking about? My first, recommendation is to get a job because that's not putting pressure on you like when people be like, oh, go make friends, and it's just like, girl, we have majority of us have like 14 hours screen time. We don't know how to just go out and make pals, okay? Like people are, and then on top of that 14-hour screen time, people are digesting so many different views, nonsense, and just it's just so much stuff on the internet where it's like people are confusing the internet with reality, and they're like actually showing up on earth with all this stuff and information, and nonsense that they heard online. And it's like, guys, this is real life. Like, I'm so sorry that podcast was telling you this crap, and like you're actually acting like this is how humans operate and how we interact with each other and how we should treat people, but that is not it. That's not how you treat people. So I'm gonna need you to come correct, and I'm gonna need you to dispose of all of that mush that you've been digesting from the internet, and I'm gonna need you to come back to reality and join us here, okay? So forget making friends right away. People love to just say that, like, making friends is not as easy as it was when we were younger and we would actually talk about our favorite shows or our favorite hobbies, our favorite colors, and our favorite Disney princesses. It's not like that anymore. So don't feel too stressed about making a big friend group or just like being this huge socialite if you are just coming out of finding yourself or just being in a state of isolation. I would recommend getting a job because depending on where you work, you can socialize with the people that you work with. And it's not like you have to have these groundbreaking or super fun conversations. It can just be simple social transactions like saying hello, how are you, or how was your weekend, or how are the kids doing. I don't know, it depends on your age group where you work at, but it could be something as simple as that. And then once you get a job and you can start budgeting your paychecks and you can start taking yourself out on solo dates, if you're still lonely, you can practice like ordering yourself food or, things like that, just where you can have more interactions with people daily and not just be so isolated to the point where you can't talk to people, and like, just start off slow because that's going to help. So that is what I recommend if you are going through isolation. And those are a couple of other points that I touched on in my overcoming challenges essay or story. It's supposed to be a story, but like I wrote it kind of like a kind of I don't know how to explain it. Kind of like how I would read a book. Like some of the books I've read, it'll have like a title at the beginning of a paragraph, and it'll be a paragraph, and then like it'll switch lanes. It was kind of something like that, but it still is written like a narrative. So I'll definitely touch on that in another video, about what I wrote about and kind of expand more on how to just find yourself and go after what you want as a young adult. And yeah, because we're all doing this for the first time, and we just need to give ourselves more grace than hate. Like, at some, like, looking back on how I used to think in my old thinking patterns, I was so harsh on myself. And looking back now, I just don't understand why, because I'm just starting out. I'm just growing into an adult, and it's like, I don't know why you were being so hard on yourself and you were nowhere near adult age, and just like being so negative about everything. And it's probably because of like societal standards, things like that. Of course, I can't leave that out, but again, it's just reminding yourself that you're only human, you're not perfect, and to not be so harsh on yourself, and to give yourself more grace than negativity, and to always show up for yourself in a loving, supportive way, because you are just trying out life for the first time. So relax. I'm trying to think anything else I want to touch on in this catch up. Hmm. I am gonna leave it there. I just realized that I have a class probably in like 10 minutes. We've been rolling for 40 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I started recording at 2:10, but I do have a online class at 3 o'clock, so I do have to bounce. But I am so happy that I got to catch up with you guys and yap a little bit in my new area, my new setting. I'm in my dorm room again, and I will see you guys next time. that being this month in February, of course. I won't leave you guys hanging. I'm going to be posting much, much more and being so much more consistent because I like talking to you guys, and this is a digital diary, and I love to see myself grow. So I'm going to see you guys next time, and I got to go to class. So bye.